Funko Pops need no introduction at this point. They're pretty much everywhere and everything has been turned into one at this point, such as this, and this, and this. So obviously, if their standards are this low, it should come off as no surprise that My Little Pony ones exist. Though, this may look all innocent and cute on the surface, but the more layers you dig through on this thing, the stupider it gets and a bunch of questions rise up. For starters, let's take a trip back to 2013 to look at the characters that Funko made for the first wave of the My Little Pony series. So we got Twilight Sparkle, Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie, Applejack. There's no Applejack? You would imagine that a toy line as comprehensive and a company as greedy... give me a sec. Acquisitive as Funko would at least complete the main 6, right? Luckily for me, I only own the DJ Pon 3 one because if I had these 4, it would genuinely drive me crazy that the other 2 don't exist. And oddly enough, they made some more fandom specific characters like Dr. Hoof's DJ Pon 3 and Derpy. Though still, don't you think they should have finished at least one of the main 6s? Luckily though, 2 years after this, they released a second wave. Optimistically, you would hope that they would finish the rest of the main 6, but yeah, no. They made Princess Celestia, but no Princess Luna, even though she's arguably the much more popular one. Then they made Discord and Trixie. At least the Trixie one looks kind of okay. But then puzzlingly, they made Spitfire. I know that she's a fan favorite, but isn't this quite a random selection? Was anyone seriously asking for a Spitfire or a Celestia over finishing the literal main cast of the show? Though thankfully, they released the Wave 3 in 2016. At this point, please just release the dang Applejack and Rarity ones. I mean, ideally they should have also released a Lyra and a Bonbon and an Octavia just to finish both of the main 6s, or maybe even Spike too. Now that I got your hopes up, I think you'd be pleased to hear that what we actually got was even better. We've got some great selections such as Fluttershy Glow in the Dark, Rainbow Dash Glow in the Dark, Twilight Sparkle Glow in the Dark, Pinkie Pie Glitter, Rainbow Dash Glitter, Twilight Sparkle Glitter. Would anyone in existence seriously genuinely prefer purchasing a glitter version of the main 6 than the normal version? Like if someone offered you the price of both of these for $5 but you could only have one and the other would be thrown into a fire, would you not just pick the regular one? I don't have any glittered Funko Pops, but I do have these weird glitterish versions of these minifigures. Do the normally colored ones not look 1000% better? It's so unnecessary. At least if instead of counting this as a random glitter version, they slapped the word Crystal Empire version on the box, these would have a slight reason to exist, even if the hairstyles are completely different. But hey, it's not like accuracy is Funko's main concern anyways. I mean, how do you look at red eyes and turn them white? And yes, I will address the elephant in the room. What is this man-child surrounded by My Little Pony toys and books talking about literal glitter for children toys? Anyways, hype for My Little Pony was kind of dying down a bit around this time, and perhaps Funko just didn't feel like making new molds for new characters, so they filled up a third wave with like recolors. But hey, don't be disappointed, because they were actually gifted with one more valuable opportunity for relevance again. Of course, I'm talking about the release of the My Little Pony movie in 2017. So let's see what kind of exciting new characters from the movie they could have made Funko Pops of, such as everyone's favorite, Virgo. No, he's not your favorite? Whatever, at least we've got other selections such as the Storm King, or the Pirates, or, no, not you, how about that pig guy who looks more like some guy's Sonic the Hedgehog OC than a My Little Pony character? Whatever. My point is, they've got a billion characters to choose from, and just as long as they don't just simply make Sea Pony variants of the main 6 and call it a day, I'd be a pretty happy customer. I mean, come on, that was like the lamest part of the movie, right? Does anyone seriously want Sea Pony merchandise on their shelves? You know what? I'm kind of hyping myself up. Let's see what they actually came out with. Do they have some kind of contract to just not make Rarity and Applejack for some forsaken reason? I mean, at least they gave us glitter versions of the Sea Ponies as well. Now, I have no idea when else I'll bring this up, so I'll just shoehorn this in here. So basically, every Funko Pop belongs to a line, such as how animation characters belong to the animation line, characters from video games belong to the games line, etc. You get the point. Now, this led me to wonder, why do the My Little Pony ones have their own line? There's like barely enough characters to even warrant that. Then I thought about it, and then I realized that Funko was probably gonna make a lot more, but then settled for this regular vinyl line instead. And unlike the Funko Pops, these actually look amazing. Why couldn't they follow suit with the Pops and keep making these until the movie? Clearly, they still had the license. But anyway, speaking of the movie, once the movie wave was over, I surely thought that there would be no more Funko Pops for My Little Pony. I mean, after all, the show ended shortly after, right? But out of nowhere, during that giant NFT craze that happened like last year, Funko decided to be greedy. give me a sec again, enthusiastic and decided to release these Funko NFTs, where if you bought enough of them and got cards for a certain character, you could trade it in for the real figure. Now, unlike Wave 3 and the movie line, the characters that they released for the Funko NFTs are actually fire. They finally got around to doing Luna, Sunset, and even Chrysalis. And also, you may not believe this, but they actually finally made Rarity. But still, Applejack was not lucky enough to be made for some reason. Is this perhaps a licensing issue to do with the cereal or something? I mean, if you made 5/6 of the main 6, what's stopping you from just finishing it? And Funko must have some commitment issues that is almost as bad as me making part 1 to stuff without continuing the series. Ha 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 ha. Don't worry, I'll get back to these eventually. Though, the thing that bugs me about this whole NFT thing is, correct me if I'm wrong, but judging by the fact that there's only a 1.72% chance of getting a specific pony, how many of these packs would you have to buy in order to get even a snowball's chance in Tartarus to get a specific one? Not to mention how Rarity has a way lower percentage of getting her. I mean, at least she lived up to her name, am I right? Nudge, nudge. Like, I mean, if you want to buy this one Funko Pop from the secondhand market, they really don't want you to complete the main 6 collection, do they? But, like, seriously, what's with the Applejack neglect? As a matter of freaking fact, let's take a read of this random fanfiction written by a lad named Armin AOT Lover AJ on Wattpad, titled MLP, Why Does Applejack Get No Love? Now, this is chapter 4 of the story, so we might be missing a bit of context, but let's try to read it anyways. Chapter 4, Funko Pop. No AJ! They also have no Rarity, but no AJ! Gah! Flips table. You know what? It breaks my heart that the poor children of the world are having their Applejack Funko Pop wishes go unanswered. I shall not stop bringing up the fact that Applejack has no Funko Pop until we get hashtag justice for Armin AOT Lover AJ. Let's go harass Funko until they finally cave in and make an Applejack Funko Pop. I'm joking, don't actually harass them, but if there's any Funko employees watching, I would really like to know why there's no Applejack one. Anyways, I was hoping that they would at least make a couple Equestria Girls Funko Pops, since I think that Equestria Girls' slightly anime-esque-ish design would translate very well into Funko Pop's designs. I mean, these fan concepts by DeviantArt user Zephyros Phoenix look pretty nice, and I think it really was a missed potential. However, the fact that Funko took a 5-year gap between the movie line and the NFT stuff from just last year proves that they probably still have the My Little Pony license, and also they don't mind outrageous year gaps. Not to mention that the My Little Pony NFT wave says Series 1 and apparently it's been sold out. That actually doesn't make me too pessimistic about there being an Applejack one in the future. Like, is it so taboo for someone to just want to have a complete set of the literal main cast of the show? Then again, looking at the trend searches for interest in NFT shows that it peaked heavily at the beginning of last year and now it's pretty stagnant. So I'm not really sure Funko would see enough would be eager enough to make another NFT series, let alone one of My Little Pony. Though the last NFT thing that they did seemed to have been from a couple months ago, so I suppose I'm more optimistic than not. Now, it would be fantastic if they could just release more My Little Pony Pops as, you know, normal stuff in physical stores, you know, like things are meant to be sold. But let's just get an Applejack. Even if I don't buy one, even if I don't even physically see one in real life, I'll just see it as an overall win to society as a whole. So yeah, to leave things on a positive note, I guess it's not too out of the question that something more could be made in the future. But speaking of making more things in the future, thank you so much to Verfirmed Mutt Joe for supporting me on Patreon. If you guys would also like to support this channel's future and also get access to some bonus videos, please consider pledging to this channel on Patreon. And now, I feel like I've been saying this like at the end of every video that I've been putting out, but I know I've been gone for a while, but I've just been working on this really big video that's been taking up like all my time. So this was just some kind of like silly video to fill in the wait and stuff. And I'm planning on getting it out by My Little Pony's birthday, October 10th, so mark your calendars, I guess. But before then, I might have one more video out besides this. I don't know, we'll see what happens. But until next time, this has been F- signing out.